Happy Wednesday. I am sorry I'm running a bit late. I had an original game plan, and then I switched my game plan at the last minute. So I was trying to like gather up the things for my secondary game plan. So I hope you guys are having a good week. I have a cold. The day before I woke up and had a little bit of something going on, like behind my ear and in the back of my throat. And then yesterday I was a little bit snotty, and today I also have a sore throat. So I have the hot tea, I have a water, I have some cough drops. I think I have enough to get us through this live without me coughing in your face. So here's hoping. I guess it's a good thing we're meeting virtually, right? All right. Let me get me off of here and we'll take it to the desk. Oh, there's my phone. My apologies. So this is one of the ideas like that I have had for a while. And what I wanted to do was kind of like, we have these are the tall pines stencils, and Lori, my husband will always tell you that I'm super snotty. So we have the tall pines, and then these are the Lovely Layers trees. And I thought it would be cute to have like the stenciling in the background, but then dress up this tree like a Christmas tree. And then this is the Lovely Layers fireplace holiday add-on. And so I'm going to take some of the decorations for the tree out of here, like the little ornaments and the little star topper. You can just use, whatever you have. And there's like some little bows maybe we could use. And then I just picked out the sentiment, the Wonder of Christmas, just because honestly, I like the font. So that's how I picked that. Okay. So I need to, because I switched at the last minute, I didn't gather up my distress inks, and so I need to grab those. Does anybody else just have them like stacked up? I need that one, the shaded lilac. And the rustic wilderness. I just have them like stacked up here from Melissa. That's so funny that you say that. When I let the dogs out, I was like, hey, the snow is melting. Like it must be warm today. It must be warm today. All right. I don't know if I'll need that or not. So I'm going to let it sit out there. Because I feel like maybe I'm not, normally I would go for like a bright green, but I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I think I'm going to do a more subdued green. But that does mean that it's not necessarily my go-to. I need peeled paint would be the one in the middle here. Because I have three, if I remember the pines, there's 3 layers of pines. Oh, Julie, you don't feel good either? Something's just going around, man. You should get the new labels Tim just came out with. Make it easier to know what they are in the stacks. Lisa, that's probably a really good idea. So like a more traditional green, and then we'll do this, and then we'll probably use markers to color up the trimmings. So let me see what I have for my brushes, what's out. Sorry. Bless me. I like the greens. I feel like all the greens I have are like mediums. No, there's a big one. Okay. And And then I'll just grab the black just in case. Okay. Thank you for my blessings. I need them. All right. So now I've got this going on. And then also, I think maybe we could play around with a little, we'll see how it goes. I need my grip mat. I should have gotten my washcloth wet, but I did not. My wonderful sister was here helping me, and I'm gonna run to the bathroom and get this wet. Don't do anything without me. Okay. So anyway, Jelly Bean was very restless last night, and so I was in her room 2 different times. The second time I just slept in the recliner, and Eric woke me up when he got up from work this morning, because I think she also probably has the same thing that I have. And so nobody got great sleeps last night. And so my sister this morning came over because she forgot her phone charger here yesterday. But yesterday all my nail polish had chipped off, and so I needed to repaint my nails. So she brought me a chicken from Chick-fil-A. Wasn't that nice of her? So I painted my nails while she ate her chickens. I didn't eat my chickens because I have to take my thyroid pill in the morning, and then I have to wait. Okay. So I'm going to get this out. Yeah, she did do pretty good. She woke up coughing, and we've learned because she has such a weak gag reflex that we got to catch the coughing early. So we let her sleep with a sippy that has a good seal on it, with just plain water in it next to her bed. So that way, if she wakes up in the middle of the night and has a coughing fit, she can get her sippy cup. But then she was awake and she didn't want to be in there by herself. So anyway, it was fine. We worked it out. I have the honeybee pet dies that I got back in March. I want to play with them. Need to figure out how to make a German Shepherd. You know what? That's so funny, Melissa, because back in March, my mom was sick, and that's how I was spending all of my time. I also never played with that set. So maybe we could do that in a live one time. Get it out and play around with it. All right, let me look at this. So I can see. All right. So this is layer 1. Oh, I must have done a snowy thing with this or something. Oh, no, you know what? I did those Father's Day cards with it. Okay. Flip this over. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. All right. I had mine all cattywampus. Your youngest was also up at 2 a.m. wanting to play. Yeah. Caitlin was like, Mommy, can you just stay in here forever? And I was like, well, who am I to be like, no, right? All right. So I think I would like there to be some sky behind this. Well, maybe I'll just do it. No, because I don't want that top row. All right, I'm going to mark. This is going to be my highest row right here. And I can do this because then I can cut a hill. That's fine. Pam, this is just a grip mate from scrapbook.com. All right, so I am going to mark this right on my grip mate. I'm just going to use a Copic to mark right here so I know where to line up my stencil going forward, since I don't want it to go all the way up to the top. And don't worry, we're not ruining it. We will be able to clean that up with alcohol. Okay, so now I want to mask these because I want this to be like my top layer. So I'm going to, can I just rip them? I bet I can. I'm going to do this here and here. And then this is fine, I think, because I can cover this up, right? I don't know. I feel like maybe that's not going to look right. Okay. Scissors. Here they are. I was supposed to make Hershey Nugget boxes gifts, but ran out of time. Isn't that just the way of it? Like, don't we all start with like really great intentions? My dad's mom, my Grandma T. I say that because my children also call Eric's mom Grandma T, so that way there's no confusion. My dad's mom had a nut roll recipe, and so we were like, hey, I was like, I'm going to try to make nut roll this year, because that was one of the things that I had wanted to do with my mother, and we just ran out of time. Lesson learned, you don't have as much time as you think you do. So I'm going to do this the darkest green, which for me is going to be forest moss. And so I was like, I want to make them. Dad hasn't had them in years. I also like nut rolls. So does my sister. So I was like, we'll give it a go. But we were doing it at the same time that we were going to just knock out all of the Christmas cookies while we were there. Like, talk about delusions of grandeur. We thought we were going to be able to get all of that done. Like, there's still a set of cookies that are not made. I will try to get to them because they're my middle sister's favorite at some point. But like, yeah, I thought, we'll go over and make cookies and we'll be able to get Dad's tree up and, blah, 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 blah. Girl, no, you cannot. I don't know why you thought you could do that. We got the tree up from the crawl space, and that was the extent of the tree up. And we still have one batch of cookies that we didn't make. Okay. Oh, your mom used to make chocolate covered cherries. My mom also made her own candy, like, for years. And we did find some of her recipes for candy while we were looking for the cookie recipes. And I told them, I was like, I would like to try to do that. I mean, because that is stuff that I did with my mom. But I also enjoy it. I mean, I probably got that from her too. So my son was like, are you going to make chocolate covered pretzels? Because my mom would just, whip that out on Tuesday because those were his favorite. And I'm like, well, I'll do my best. I will do my best. All right. So now this is, I'm going to use those little lines there, but also Honeybee is the bestest best. And they use clear stencils so that you can see and line them up. All right, so now we need to do our masking again. Working under pressure is my usual. Yeah, same for me. I perform best under pressure. Probably why I was very successful as a police dispatcher for so many years. Okay, so these all stay. These I don't think will even be up this high, but just to be sure we're sure, we'll go ahead and mask these. Molly. Okay. And then this one's going to be peeled paint. I ordered a cheap double boiler to make chocolate for making coconut nests and white trash candy. Hockey, what is white trash candy? I know what coconut nests are. I'm intrigued by your description of the other, and I would like to know what that is. Okay, so now we're doing peeled paint. Okay. And I do think this would look very nice in other colors, but I'm going with green because trees are green. But I think that we could I think we could definitely play around with other colors. And because like people have like pink Christmas trees now and stuff. I don't have anything down here. Not that I need it for my card, but if you are a person who is like maybe you're doing this and you want to use the whole base, you do want to mask this off. Otherwise, you will get green ink down there in a line. And if you're trying to use this as your card front, you will be sad about it. Haystacks and cow pies. Chow mein noodles covered in butterscotch. Pudding and chocolate pudding are my mom's usual go-to. Rice Chex, Cheerios, mini pretzels, mini M&Ms mixed together, then coat with melted white chocolate, put on a sheet with parchment paper set in the fridge. That's cocky. That's the white trash candy. It sounds delicious. My mom made like peppermint patties, peanut butter cups, caramels. She would do chocolate covered Oreos for me because I love them. She would do chocolate covered pretzels for my son and my sister because she loved them. She would do the turtle with the Spanish peanuts for my oldest sister because she loves those. I also love those, like the peanut clusters. The turtle version has the caramel in it, which I'm pretty sure Mom, I don't think she melted the caramel bits. I think she did she would boil, what is it, the evaporated milk that you boil and it turns into, well, Melissa, I'm going to give them a try. And if they come out, I'll share the recipe. Share the recipe with you for the peppermint patties. All right. So then I'm going to line this one up. And again, I guess this is the same height as this, so that's fine. I can use that. I can use that, I think. Okay. I feel like I should have had another green in here because I have 4 layers, right? Why did I only pick 3 colors? Why did I do that? Huh. All right. Well, we're in it now. We'll see how we can finagle it. Okay. So I am going to put this one in. That one should be in the background because it's behind all the other trees. That one, I think I'm going to have to change its color. So this is pretty light. So maybe I'll do a combination of this color and peeled paint. Because this is pretty far removed from. Okay, so let's go in here. This is peeled paint, and I'm putting it on top of the crushed olive to kind of create a medium color, a color in between the two. And that is looking better. I do like that better. Okay. This one, I think we're just going to have to go in with a darker color period because it's so far in the back. Okay. All right. So I'm not mad about that. I think that's okay. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to go back and get just this one. That is better. And then the ones that are right up front we'll do with the lightest color. Normally I'm not like a clean as I go, but I do have a lot of stuff on my desk right now because I'm hoping to finish up another video today. So I don't want to get green all over everything. I don't want to green all over everything. Okay, so now we still need this one for layer 4. I don't know if I need this or not. I bet you that's on the first stencil. It is. Okay, so we're back to stencil 1, so I can do these ones on the front. Okay. There we go. Oh, moved it. I didn't push it down hard enough. Okay. Yeah, when this stencil first came out, I was like such a big fan because you guys do know I love a scene. Okay, let me actually push it down now so that it stays. Because I do love a scene, but I think I ended up using it the first time was when I used it for the I did a video for like dad cards and like adding different textures and stuff to the cards. Okay, I feel like I'm good with that. All right, and now onto the 4th stencil, which will get those 2 other trees. Okay, there we go. Don't make the same mistake twice. Push my stencil down. Melissa. Melissa's giving out recipes here. Melissa, I missed it. What's the recipe for? I literally just dump everything into the crock pot. Sold. I'm in for that. Low heat for 90 minutes. Stir, then another hour stirring every 15 minutes. Scoop onto parchment paper. Listen, anything that is a dump recipe, I'm here for. I don't care what we're making. If I can just dump it in the crock pot and not pay any attention to it, then yes, please. All right. So this is kind of like our backdrop for our tree that we're going to decorate. I'm going to take this off of here and wipe this down before I get green on all of that too. Okay. And I'm going to do a little, what did I do with my blue? Did I just leave it down? I did. Okay. So I'm just going to grab, I guess, some Salty Ocean just to create a little bit of a sky in the background. Like, I'm not overly worried about going over the greens with the blues. If it was a different color, I probably would be, but those greens are dark enough to withstand my blue sky. And then, so if I do like a little hill, and then I can do my other trees. Why do I see this as a night thing, though? Like, I see it as a night. I don't see it as a day. Maybe because I know the bottom's going to be white. This is where my husband's like, Kelly, just leave it alone. It looks fine. And it does look fine, but it's not the way I see it in my head. So that's not what we're doing. So that's not what we're doing. We're going to try to achieve the look that I have in my head. Why is that? Because it's my card. Do what I want. All right. So I'm going to be a little bit more heavy-handed with that blue. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab these. Okay. Betsy, yes, it is hard to stop when it doesn't match what you imagined. It's very challenging when you know how it looked, how it looks in your head. So I'm not taking the darkness all the way down. I am going to leave a little bit of a glow around the trees. And I'm okay with that. Because our trees come up high. So, you know, maybe it could be right at like sunset where the high up in the sky is dark, but the down lower still has some light. Chip sapphire. Okay. And then where is the I said I didn't know if I was going to use it, but since you're here, Betsy, the HB app still shows all the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale info. Oh, good to know. We'll have to let someone know about that. Okay, this is the black. And it doesn't look like much now, but stand by because we're going to go back over it. In reverse order. Okay. And do I need to re-ink this? I feel like this is not putting down as much ink as I would like it to. I might have to re-ink it. What did I say about your peppermint patties? Oh, they were my mom's favorite, and she used to make them. So like we have a mold and a recipe to make them. They're delicious. So I am gonna try to make them. Probably not for Christmas because there's just too much going on right now. But usually she would make candy like for Easter. So I do think I'm going to give that a go. Okay. So it's going to be like a little glowy behind the trees. I'm okay with that. I think that's good. Okay. And this, I think adding the other blues, like really brighten it up so that the sky doesn't look black or gray, even though we're using those darker colors. Okay. So this looks like maybe like a little walking path next to a cliff or something. It's not going to stay like that. It's not going to stay like that. All right. So I'm going to move this and wipe this up because now I have to create my hill and trim it out. All right. So I'm going to pull out, these are the Lovely Layers trees. You can see I have some cut back here. And so my thought was like putting it over here, and then I would have somewhere for the sentiment. But we're going to decorate this one like a Christmas tree. So how high up do I want my hill? Probably not super high. Probably just like a little bit here. And then my tree will go there. Okay. So we're going to scoot it up just a little bit because we have to have a nice swoop, and I have to find a pencil. With between my kids is sometimes challenging to do. Okay. And then I'm going to have it be up on the hill and then swoop down. So I need to round this out a little bit. Okay. Oh, look, can you see my dirty little fingerprints? And, you know, we're not going to be using that part anyway, so it's okay. So I'm just going to follow along the line that I've trimmed here. Try to make it as smooth as possible. So we have a little hill that will go there. And then our tree will sit in the foreground on the hill. Okay. So what does that look like? About 3/4 of an inch. Sorry. This is why the glass mat is nice, because then you can figure out so there. And here. So we have a little bit underneath where it's at. That's too much, I think. A little too much. All right, there we go. I'm going to go with 1.25 inches. Okay. Denise, you didn't respond, so that's either a no or you missed what I said. Oh, I think she did answer. I thought she said yes. Yes, there was a special. Oh, about the trifold set. That part I didn't see, Lisa. That part I did not see. All right. So let's just go 1.5 inches. I can always trim it off if I want less. Okay. So that will go here. And we'll have all this forest in the background, but then we'll have this one guy here who's all dressed up for Christmas. Okay. So now I got to erase my pencil line. So that it stays a nice white. And then I like to add shading to my snow with shaded lilac. Okay. And I'm just going to add it kind of up from the bottom. Like that. Okay. Because it's a night scene, we want it to be a little bit darker. So here's our little snowy hill. And then I need to figure out, let me look here. Tree. My internet today, for some reason, I got no answers for you. Why it seems to be adding up, but it is acting up. Okay. So this one has a top piece and a stem. Okay. So this is the top piece right here to give him some, and then this is the stem. And the stem goes in between so that you can see just bits poking out. All right, let me get my die release tool and my little trash can over here. I'm gonna poke them. This is so helpful for me because then I don't have to like bend over and be bending over my trash can underneath my desk trying to poke all my bits in. I just put them in here and then I empty it when I'm done. Oh, I'm actually creating a forest card. Oh, good. See? Okay. So then there's that. So I'm going to use the same distress inks that we already used to color these so that they look like they're from the same forest. But I am going to do the, I'm going to do this in marker because that's just easier. All right. So now we did this is what we did. So I'm going to do the crushed olive kind of all over. Just gonna put that on. Okay. So I did want to talk about like the next 2 weeks. So the next 2 weeks are Wednesday lives fall on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So I will not be doing lives on those days. I'm not opposed to picking a different day. If you guys feel like you can put it in your schedules. But I totally get if also that doesn't work out. So here, these are my base layers. I'm just going to kind of go up from the bottom with the other colors, just so we have a little bit of color variation. Yeah, I'm not opposed to doing the lives on another day. I just can't do them on a Wednesday. Okay, so it looks like you guys are pretty open too. So maybe we'll do it earlier in the week. Like maybe we'll do Tuesday instead of Wednesday. Oh, that's fun. You're getting together and doing the kit. I have one of those kits. But I don't have any crafty local friends except for Weta, and I haven't seen her, I think, since I got married. Yeah, see, Lisa, I'm with you. I wish I did too. Okay, so I'm just adding this kind of randomly throughout. Okay. All right, let's see. I craft with my mom, which is fun. That is super fun, and I'm glad that you have a way to spend time with your mama. I think that's fantastic. All right, so here's how we're looking so far. Okay, so here's this, and then our tree up front. Mm-hmm. All righty. I want to add, I think, some, I want this piece to be dark, I think, so that we have the contrast of the top layer. I think right now they look too much the same. Yeah, my mom was not, well, I can't say she wasn't crafty at all. She was just crafty differently. Like she liked to paint ceramics. She liked to cook and bake, and so she liked making things, just not making things like this. Though kudos to her, because when I first got into card making, she did spend afternoon with me making cards, even though it was not her thing. Okay, I do like that much better. Okay. Craft, yeah, I do crafty FaceTime. Usually only with Dawn though. Okay. So I'm just gonna grab a marker and just fill this in. Your mom loved to sew. She taught me, but I don't enjoy it like she did. She also never enjoyed making cards like I do. That's fair. My grandmother loved to sew. My best friend from high school, she loves to sew. I wish I knew, well, I couldn't say I don't know. I'm from the old school when we still had home economics. And so I did sew several things, pillow, pajamas, things like that in home ec, but I've retained almost none of it. All right. So now we put this in, we put this on. You can see some of the trunk in there. Okay. And then this guy goes here. He definitely is giving more detail than the guys in the background. Okay. All right, so now I didn't do any of the die cutting for the accessories that we're going to be using from here. Fireplace holiday add-on. So let me look at what that looks like, because I did not pull it up. Fireplace holiday add-on. Okay. Download the layering guide. Yes, please. I will need it. Okay. All right. It has a lot of little trim on it. That's adorable. Oh, we could even do the presents under the tree. I'm not going to do that because I want it to just be like a nice, serene kind of scene. But I do want the trimmings. So I think I'm just going to cut the circles for the ornaments and then the star. And it does seem to have some like garland on it. Those are the lights. Where's the, oh, there it is. It does seem to have a garland that we can cut out. So I will probably do that as well. And then this is not meant for this, so I'll probably have to finagle a way to make those fit. But I'm going to do my best. Okay. So let's open this guy up. right. And these are the ornaments. These bunch of little circles. So I want those. I want the star for the top of the tree. I think we're going to give the garland a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I think that's going to be it. There's so many other things we could add to that, but I don't want it to be too crazy. You know what I'm saying? I just want it to be like this cute little Christmas tree out in the world, decorated. Maybe by some cute little woodland critters. You don't know. All right. Let's cut that. I'm going to do these. I should get I haven't used it yet. I just bought it and it came. I should use my Scout. I just bought a Scout for this particular reason, because I am doing more lives. And this is a pain in the tushy to get up here on the desk. So that's why I bought it. And I'm very excited because also they had the blue plates on sale. So I got the regular, but then my extra, my spare plate, my spare cutting plates are blue. Thrilled about it. Okay. I have no idea how to get your info without blasting it all over the world to see here. Maybe someone could share an email address. And then Brandon, if you're leaving, bye. Have a Merry Christmas if I don't see you. Okay. And there's my little star. Okay. I feel like because these ornaments are so small, I should cut more, because I think it's like really likely that I'll lose some. Get my little poker out. That's the trim part. Okay, I'm just going to do just another run of these. If I have extra, that's better than not having enough, because I don't want to have to get this back out to do it again. Okay. There we go. Ooh. So you guys know, because we've chit-chatted, especially if you were in the class on Sunday, like we chit-chatted about being ready for Christmas. And I am very comforted to know that a lot of you were like me and you're not all the way done with Christmas. We had hoped to like finish up the physical going to the store for the kids last Friday, but then there was a sickness at the daycare and we weren't sure if she was going to get it. And then my sister had a sore throat. So now we're trying for this weekend, which I do feel is like cutting it a little close, but I mean, what are you going to do? We don't have a choice. Oh, Merry Christmas, Sharon. Bye. Thanks for stopping in. Okay. So now here, I'm just going to lay this out so I can see if the trim will work, before I commit to coloring it. Know what I'm saying? That one needs to be up a little higher, I think. I think this will work though. Oh, come along, little tweezers. I think it's going to have to be a little bit more spaced out than maybe I would do my regular trim, but I do think it will work. Yep, it sure will. Okay, so then these other ones, I could probably like just trim them out if I wanted more of a more trims. I could probably just like cut them, or maybe I just leave them, or maybe I do them cattywampus because they're a little bit longer, so they could be ones that are straight and ones that are cattywampus. Like that. Oh, that's kind of cute. What do we think about that? Maybe I don't need one from there. Maybe this can come up just a little bit. Can you show us the best way to get the details on pieces like the scale in the Hoosiers? I have tried inking them, rolling pin the doors, but they don't come out very crisp. Are they stencils? I am not familiar because I haven't used that one before. So tell me what they are, and I will try to make sure that I pull it to use it. Okay, I think this garland is going to be just fine. And then we'll do the ornaments in between, and then we'll do the little star on top. Okay. Betsy says they're die cuts. Okay. I will absolutely pull them out and look into it. Are they like the baking ones? Is that are you talking about the holiday add-on? I think I did pull those out for something. Maybe when I didn't know what I was going to do with my tags. Okay. All right, let's start putting together. Let's start decorating our little tree. So this can go over here until it's time to do all the extra bits. You know how we will do. We can't leave anything just plain. We must do the extra bits. Okay. Thank you, Betsy. All right. So we're going to do that. Line that up down here. The numbers on the scale are tiny. It comes out okay. I ink the die before cutting it out. Yeah, I'll have to take a closer look. Is it the embossed detail that is giving you a hard time? Okay. And then this, you can see like on the sides where it lines up. Okay. That's a cute little tree. He's got lots of dimension. Okay, I do think that I am going to Where is it? The 90. Did I pull it? I have pulled them out already. They're underneath all of my re-inkers, or all of my inkers. Where is that? Did I put them over here? I can't be trusted with my own tools. I will lose them. Okay, so I see the 99. I'm looking for the 95. Well, I can't find it, so I'm going to try this olive. But this is not the one I would have gone to. That'll do. Okay, so underneath some of these, I am going to I'm using the, let me zoom in. That wrong way. Okay. All right, I'm just going in. I'm holding my brush sideways. And I'm just kind of tapping underneath the holes. And then some, like here where it dips in, sometimes I'm extending that out. And this is just going to help give it some more texture and some more dimension. I was looking for the 90s family, but this olive is working. So, and like sometimes when you have a large area like this, like, you know, it's good to kind of extend them out. And then even up here. Okay. Just a note to let you know, I enjoy your little jelly bean joins you. She's been doing that more and more often lately, hasn't she? All right, so now I'm going to dump these out. And separate them out. There we go. Oh. Flip it. There we go. And what color am I going to do? Well, this is going to be yellow. And so normally, like the garland would be like it's with silver at my parents' house. It's gold at my house. So I think I'm going to go with gold because then it'll match the star. And then I can do the multicolor lights. I think that will work. This is like my backup star. Okay. All right, now yellow combinations. All right. So this is really the only thing that I'm going to be like coloring. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of turn them all on their sides because I find that that's easiest for me when I'm coloring little bits. I don't even think we're using those. We're using these. So I'm going in with my darkest color. Oh, hello. Trees are your obsession. That's so nice. And you picked a good day to stop in. So I'm just going to take this down along the edge here for each one of these. Do try to make sure that you get the edge of the paper as well, so none of that white is peeking through when it goes on our tree. Okay, and I know we're not using all of these, but I'd rather have them done and colored and not need them than be caught putting them on and finding that I don't have enough. Okay. I feel like we've spent so much time together recently. We had our regular live, then we had our class, then we had the premiere. Instead of Monday, we did it yesterday because there was no time left in my day that day, unfortunately. All right. I wish I would have bought so much 12 by 12 paper. If you use it, good for you. I have found that like when I would buy pattern paper, I was like a hoarder. I did not use it. I just collected it. Which honestly, there's plenty of things just because of the way this year has been that I have purchased that I have not been able to use, which is pretty unusual for me. Usually because this is my job, I do have time to get to all of the things. But this year was a different year. Okay. And then in order for them to look gold, instead of like brownish, you want to take your yellow, your bright yellow, and go over everything, not just the white space that we left. We want the bright yellow all over everything. And it's going to help make it look more gold. Okay. All right. So now those are done. And I'm going to do the star before I clean up. I've been working so much more this year. Yeah, Betsy, I totally get it. It's been a year. All right, so I'm going to go. This is my darkest color. Thank you, Deborah. So this is my darkest color. I'm going to go underneath the little arms of the star. I know it's tiny. Even on my screen, it's tiny. And then I'm going to go over it here with my mid-tone. And I'm going to add a little to that one. And then the whole thing will get saturated with the yellow. Okay. So now there's our star. Now I'm going to clean this up before I do my lights. And there is no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just going to sort them all out so that I can just dab them with a marker. I'm sure it would look classier with white lights. But in my household, we always have colored lights. And so I will be making mine colored. I feel like the creatures in the woods would like if they had some color. Okay. So now let's pull out some colors for the lights. What are we doing? A B24, a YR04. I'm not going to do yellow because we already have the yellow on there. I'm going to do green, but I'm going to do more of a bright green. So it'll kind of stand out from the background. Okay. Blue, green. I mostly buy Walmart cardstock. That's what I used for years. I used the Walmart cardstock for my Copa coloring for years and years. They stopped selling it where I am. And then I also, Sandy Allnock, turned me on to the Nina, and she showed them, like we looked at them side by side, and the Walmart cardstock looked so gray compared to the Nina. I was like, oh, I guess I didn't really realize how that would look. But if I like did not do this for a living, like if I didn't work for companies and stuff, I would still use that to just do my regular card making. All right, we got our red, orange, we're skipping yellow, blue, green, and then we need a violet. So I don't think you ever see purple. Do you ever see? I don't think you see purple lights, so we'll just go with these classics. All right. I'm not going to really add any shading to them. I'm just going to fill them in. I'll start with 3. Should I do? Yeah, I'll start with 3 each and see how we go from there. Yeah, I agree. Betsy, the brightness can make a huge difference. But like also if you're just a sometime crafter, and if you're using it for inking, like then it doesn't matter because you're usually purple lights during Halloween or Mardi Gras. Yeah, I would agree. I think we're gonna skip the purple and just do the more traditional. Okay. Red. I think I am going to have to do yellow. Do. And then we will do 3 yellow. I like coloring bits like that on a Tim Holtz grip mat. Honestly, I never really think of that, Betsy. I have seen other people do it and it's a great idea, but like it never occurs to me. It never occurs to me to do that because I mean, you could just clean it right up with alcohol. You wouldn't have to, do anything else with it. All right. So now I'm going to get the garland on. I'm going to lay it all out and then this one we decided we were going to do cattywampus to help fill in some of that area. And this one over a bit. And then this one will come across. And then this one. And then this one is straight. And then this one. Okay, I think that should be good. I need a tissue. The thin gray one that's a little sticky. I don't think I don't think I know which one you're talking about, Betsy. I'm going to have to look into it. Hi, Kathy. All right, so this is the straight one. There we go. Ah! Okay, I lost myself for a second. one. Little cattywampus. I need to grab my glue holder. Okay, and then this one. We didn't even put garland on our tree this year. No, this one has to be cattywampus. Because it's not wide enough to fit across. Okay, and then this one, it's the straight one. Yep, like that. And then this one. Up like that. And across. And then this guy. Okay. Up like that. All right. He's starting to look very festive now. Should I have done one of these at the top? No, because the star is going to be up there. Okay. I know the star is usually the last thing to go on, but for today's purposes, it's going on now. There we go. Okay. And now, where is my... I think this is going to be the best way to pick up the ornaments. Okay. And then here... I always am so impatient. I don't let them stick long enough to set before I try to move my little guy away. There we go. It's called a media grip mat. Tim Holtz cuts it into pieces. So I have a 3 by 5 inch piece I keep handy for marking on little bits. That's so smart. All right, so I'm going to do this one up here and then stick there. Thank you. Okay. I might be putting too many on. We might need more circles. We'll have to see. I might be being overly generous. Okay. Oh, that's the right side. Okay. And then orange, green. Yeah, we're going to color these. We're going to color those because we have 2 sections left. I was very generous with our ornaments. Red, blue. I think we'll do the last one orange. There we go. Okay. So we'll do 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Oh, get up there. And then red and orange. I think our ornaments are a little disproportionately heavy at the top, but that's fine. I'm okay with it. What did I do with my, there it is. Like, what did I do with my glid glue? Those ornaments need some shimmers. Dawn, you know that they will get them. You know that they will. All right. So now I'm going to zoom us back out because I'm pretty zoomed in with the coloring. Just so we can see now. Here is our snow. Here is our Christmas tree. I think he's looking awfully festive. So then now we just need to do the bits and do the sentiment. So let me pick my sentiment real quick here. Enjoy the wonder of Christmas. I think maybe I like that one. Enjoy the wonder of Christmas. Maybe up there. I don't want to put it down here. Yeah, I think up there will be good. And so let me see what I have down here that I could possibly use. I do have a little mossy green color. Or I'm sure I have or I could do no, I think the navy's too much. I think we'll try this mossy green color and just heat emboss it. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that you are liking this. That would look awesome with some pear blossom press lights on the tree lights. Yes, that would look super cool. I do very much enjoy their products. And I also, Amanda, the owner, I'm a big fan of her as well. Okay. So this is moss, I think from Altenew, the cardstock is. So we'll do that. And then the green with gold embossing powder would look cute. I agree. I think the gold would look amazing on this green, but because I have that white snow, I'm going to stick with the white. All right. So we're going to treat with our anti-static tool, and then we're going to ink with our and again. All right. Now I have to find my die. Oh, sorry. I think it is this one. way? Nope. That is not the way of it. So maybe it's that one, but just to be sure so we don't have to mess around with it. Thank you guys. I am going to, yeah, it's this one. Okay. Okay, and then we'll hold that in place. I'm not going to bring the die cutter back up here because it's a pain, as you guys know. So I'm just going to cut it out real quick on the floor. Okay. I think, because you know how we always got to be thinking about dinner, just all the time, every day. Every day we have to feed these people in our houses. I think I'm going to do soup for dinner. That's what I think. Okay, so then here's this. Here's our little festive tree, and then here's our little sentiment. Enjoy the wonder of Christmas. I think that's cute. We'll add some little gems and stuff. You know how we'll do. All right. So I'm going to do the background first because you know I can't just leave it plain like that. Who would I even be? So I want it to look like it is snowing. So I am going to use, two things. I wake up worried about supper, drives my husband crazy. Yeah, but like when you're the sole person who is like responsible for coming up with all of the things, like you do have to, well, what do I have? What do I need to get from the grocery store? You know, what can I use with what I have? Oh, well, I have all of this, but then could I supplement with whatever this thing is? Like dinner is just, it's a lot. All right. So I'm going to use some perfect pearls because I do like the shimmers. But that's not all I'm going to use because I can't stop myself. What did I do with my, I have like a paintbrush that is specific for the splattering. It's always here. It's already got splatters on top of it. Did I maybe put it somewhere when I was, sometimes I set stuff places when I'm talking that they don't normally go. Oh, no, it got put away somehow. That had to be my sister because it surely was not me. Okay. I want it all already at home because I hate running to the store. Same. My husband gives me a lot of grief about my privilege of having my groceries delivered. Like he does give me a hard time about it. In jest, of course. But I'm like, even before COVID, I was the person who ordered my groceries online and picked them up because it's just such an enormous time suck to walk around the grocery store. I cannot. And it's actually cheaper for me to just order because then I'm not going up and down the aisles trying to, picking up things that I don't need. All right, so this is Perfect Pearls. And I want finer droplets, so I'm going to kind of tap them off first before I bring them here to the paper. And then I also do want some on here because remember, if it's snowing, then it is in front of everything. Snow is falling all over. So we do have to still put some snow on our tree. Okay. Then I'm going to rinse this off. So there's a couple of different ways that we can add snow. I want it to be like a little bit blizzardy, so I am going to spatter mine. The 1 hour I escaped to the grocery store keeps me sane. Oh, yeah. Denise, in your situation, I totally understand. I missed the beginning. Is that a pattern paper? Dawn, no, this is a stencil. This is a honeybee stencil. Okay. So I'm using the white acrylic. Melissa, I have so many videos on perfect pearls. There's so many different things you can do with them. So many fun techniques. Girl, get them out and use them. All right, my brush is still wet. So I'm just going to dip this in here. And again, because I want them to be finer spatters, I'm going to do it a little bit over here before I take it to my paper. And then you can, you know, do as much or as little, however, whatever kind of snowstorm you want to be having. And then again, we're also going to get our tree. Do a little bit more in our background. Rinse that off. Sometimes I like grocery shopping. Yeah, when Nathan was little, I would go to the grocery store because as Denise said, like it was my only escape. But once he got a little bit older, I was like, I don't want to, like I have so many things I'm trying to do. Adding like the 2 hour grocery trip is not it. It already takes enough time to unpack them when you get home and everything else. So I have them delivered and I tip generously. Okay. So now we have our snow here. We have our snow falling down. We have our Christmas tree and our sentiment. So the Christmas tree is obviously not done yet. But I do think I'm going to glue the Christmas tree to this and then I'm going to pop it up. I think that will look nice. I'm just going to put some on the bottom here. I was so sad when I discovered my paste that I never used were all dried up. That is, I have run into that same problem. And I was also very sad. Okay. So now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add some foam adhesive underneath there. There we go. Okay. We'll do it like this. And okay. Now I want to make this one. This one's kind of just like a nice, fun, easy, like we don't have to be too crazy. The little bit of shading that we did do, you know, wasn't anything too wild. Like, so my relationship with stencils is like twofold because I do like using them. I just don't like using them for my coloring. And I know that a lot of people do like using them for their color for their coloring. But the joy that I get from coloring, I do not get from stenciling. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So now I am still going to need that for my sentiment to pop them up. But I think that this will be a fun way to add a little bit of dimension. This year I had to buy some new white paste for my backgrounds. That's pretty much the only ones like I invest in anymore are like a glitter paste and just like a plain white. Because those seem to be the ones I use the most. All right, so now we got that, and now we'll get this. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. All right. Just double check that I cut it thin enough. And same for that one. Okay. And this one I'll just put right there. Okay. And then I'll put this. Hi, Deb. I wish I would have known I could make colored paste by adding drops from my reinkers. So you can do that, but you do have to watch because sometimes like adding too much reinker will change the consistency of the paste because you're adding more moisture. But that does, I mean, you can make that work. Okay. So here, enjoy the wonder of Christmas. And now, did I leave my, I can't imagine why I would have put them away. I've been using them pretty much forever. Oh, here they are. My sister put them in a different spot. Okay. Maybe the little green gems. What else do we got over here? Yeah, I think we're going to do the green ones. All right. And, you know, I have to find my shimmers, my white gel pen. Okay. Blame it on Michelle. Yeah, if it's cleaned up, it's definitely Michelle did it. Oh my gosh. Can you see? You can't see this. There is stickles all over my brush. This is my daughter talked Aunt Michelle into letting her into the craft room while she was in here so that she could make her things. And she definitely was not listening. And so there's stickles on here, but that's okay. Just wipe them off and move on. Okay. And then we're going to do our little highlights on our lights. Well, our ornaments, not our lights, our ornaments. And then I also like to, let me zoom in so you can, oh, again, wrong way, Kelly. Okay. Yes, that is true. She did just want to be like me and make everything sparkly. She does love the glitters. But she opened like here, like this was a brand new bag. And now I have it living in here with whatever else she had. So I do want there to be lights on this. So I am actually going to, in the spaces in between, I'm going to do little white dots. And I'm going in the same direction as the garland. So everything looks matchy-matchy. And then this way through here. And then this is going to act as like our little light, our little string of lights. You could also do this if you have other colored gel pens. Why couldn't I think of gel pens? Like if you have other colors, you could do the same thing with your different colors. I just happen to have white. I do have some of the metallics, but I don't use them that often. And so sometimes they dry up on me because I have not shown them the proper amount of love. I'm going to add some in here too, just to spill in that space. And then okay. So there we go. We got some little lights on there. And I'm going to do the glitter, the stickle glitter for the star. This is something else she got into, so I might have to play around with it a little bit to get it to, nope, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to put the glitters on the star, and then I'm not going to do all of the ornaments. I'm just going to kind of randomly select some to put the glitters on, because some ornaments are glittery, but some ornaments are not. The two at the bottom are both getting glitters. Okay. I need to put a little something underneath this tree. I'm going to grab, this is a BV quadruple zero to go with that blue violet color that we have. I'm just going to give it a little shadow. I'm going to go over that with a C1. Okay. Just so it doesn't look like he's, I'm going to make that a little bit darker in here. There we go. Just so it doesn't look like our tree is just like floating on the snow. And then the gems, I think. Now you know and I know that I had that. There it is. Okay. I'm going to do this green. I got 2 for the price of 1. Okay. So I'm going to do it down here. This is the littlest guy. It's not your turn yet. I need you. This is why I love that there's 3 different sizes. Okay, now you're up. And then we'll do one over there. And one over there. So we can see all of our little snowy scene. I think that's super cute. Enjoy the wonder of Christmas. And then we got our little trees in the background and our decorated little tree. I think he's a cutie pie. I have another idea for something similar that maybe I might be able to put together. We'll see. But anyway, okay, let me bring me back. Well, I guess I could. Hello, friends. What is the thickness of the foam tape? It's a good question. I don't know. Let me crawl underneath my desk and find, literally crawl underneath my desk. It doesn't say. And I know that they do have multiple sizes, but I don't know what this one is. I would venture to say a 16th is what it looks like. It's not a very high profile one. I'll tip the card so that you can see. See, it's not a super huge lift, just a little bit. They have 1/8 and 1/16. Thank you, Betsy. I think it is the 16th. Okay, so now let's pick our, we still have to pick our winner. Okay, we're just gonna scroll. You know how we do until we find someone and then we click them. Cat Scrapper, congratulations on winning the $25 gift card giveaway for this live. So you will, let me get over here and do this. You will send an email to the wonderful Betsy at customercare@honeybeestamps.com. She is fantastic and she's usually super quick. So you should have that gift card pretty quickly. Just send her over an email and get your $25 gift card. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I love our little card. I think he came out super cute. I'm glad I switched gears. Betsy is the bomb. Betsy is wonderful. You need to get some tea and go to bed. Yes, I do. I still have my tea over here. I am going to go make, because I'm almost out. I'm going to go make myself oh, it may actually be Jan. Oh, Jana's great too. We love Jana. If you have not had the privilege of speaking with Jana, you are in for a wonderful surprise because she is an absolute delight. We love her too. So anywho, thank you guys for spending your afternoon with me. I appreciate you. And I will, for next week, I'll probably do Tuesday, I'm thinking, but I'll double check and make sure that that doesn't mess up with anybody else's schedule on the Honeybee channel. And then I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one.